Do you want your dog to be good at the front door? I'm Matt Kelby from Suburban Canine.
And I'm Holly Wengerski.
We're going to show you how to teach your dog to be perfect at the front door. It's a process, but it's pretty simple if you have a good plan. It all starts with the heel command. Holly's going to show you what heel looks like. Now keep in mind, Hattie is in training. This is new to her, so we've already started working on heel, but she's by no means an expert.
Come on, Hattie.
So what Holly's doing, she's working on the heel command. Heel means walk at my side. At the end of the day, heel is a calming technique. So you can see as she makes these turns, when she turns right, she's patting her leg, she's talking to Hattie. If Hattie's distracted, she gives a little tug to have Hattie come with her. What we're looking for at the heel command is Hattie cares more about Holly than all the distractions out there.
Good girl.
When you're first teaching the command, that's not going to be the case, right? When you first start this, the dog's going to be distracted by people at the door, another dog in the house, another person, whatever. But through time, as the dog learns to heel and gets better and better, they're going to be focused on their handler.
Come on, Hattie.
Now let's talk about how we use this at the door. First, I'm going to tell you what I don't want you to do. What I don't want you to do is open the door, have the dog free, and of course the dog is running or jumping. The second thing I don't want you to do is open the door and hold the dog tightly on leash. That's not going to work well. You're going to be doing that forever. It'll be 2 years from now, you're still holding the dog tightly every time you open the door. What I want you to do is calm them down before you open the door. So what we're going to do today is we break the front door down into 3 steps. Step 1 is calming the dog down before the door is even open. So on step 1, door would be shut like this. Someone's going to ring the doorbell, knock, and I'm going to calm the dog down using the heel command. Step 2 would be opening this door, and step 3 would be having them come all the way in the house. So now we're going to break this down step by step for you. Step 1 with the door shut, Holly is going to work on the heel command. And what I'm looking for here is a perfect left turn and a perfect right turn before I go to the next step. And a perfect turn should look like this. If Holly makes a right turn now, what I want to see is the dog is focused on her and not distracted by this door. That was perfect. Now Holly might try a left turn, and what I want to see is that she can turn in front of the dog. Perfect. What we're looking for is the dog is not racing ahead of her to get to the door. So this is absolutely perfect. Once we see this, we can move to step 2. Step 2 would be opening the door. Now, right now, we don't have a person out there, so this is pretty easy. But Holly, go ahead and show us what this would look like. Now, in theory, there'd be a person at the door, which we're going to have in just a moment.
Good girl. Come on, honey.
She makes her right turn. We'll try the same with the left turn.
Come on, Hattie. Hattie. Heel. Come on.
Perfect.
Good job.
And then now step 3 would be inviting our guest in. They would come in and stand right here, and Holly would repeat the same thing. So you've seen it in an easy situation with no guest at the door. Now let's make it a little harder. We're going to have someone come walking in.
Hattie. Heel.
So Hattie's interested. We're not seeing any barking or jumping, which is great. What Holly's going to do is she's going to work on the heel command until it's perfect. So what we want to see is a good right turn. Notice it's a little bit harder now, right? The dog's intrigued by the door. This is normal.
Good girl.
So she's going to work until she gets a good right turn.
No.
Still distracted by the door because our guest is standing there. Now, one thing I want you to think about, you might be watching this saying, how could I do this when my neighbor comes over? Or how could I do this if it's a Girl Scout selling cookies? The thought is we set this up on our terms, on our time. So I don't want you to wait until the guest comes over and you've never practiced this. We set this up on our terms. We call this being proactive rather than reactive. So what I want you to do is have your spouse, have your significant other, have your friend, have your child come ring the doorbell and practice this. And you work on this when you're ready.
Hattie. Heel. No.
So our right turns are getting slightly better, but you can see she's still pretty distracted because the person's standing there. And once again, the idea here is that we fix this issue before we even open the door. So that right turn was a lot better. It wasn't perfect, but it was much better than the one before. So as we work on this, I don't care if this takes 5 tries or 50. Every single time we do this, it's going to get better and better. So if it takes us 30 tries to get our right turn today, I can guarantee the next time we do it, it's going to take about half as many tries.
Good girl.
So that was a really good right turn. Not quite perfect, but really close. Holly, you want to make a left turn this time?
Yep. Heel. Sorry.
Now there, the left turn was easy because we've worked on this enough times. The dog is not pulling to get out the door. So now I'd say she's doing well enough that we can move to step 2, which is opening the door. Always easier if you have 2 handlers. So now I'm going to open the door. Guest is still there. Dog's excited because she can see the guest, and Holly's going to do the same thing again. She's going to work on her turns.
Hattie. Heel. No. Heel. Let's go.
So you can see Hattie doesn't quite have the impulse control to ignore the guest yet, and that's normal.
Heel. No. Heel. Come on, miss.
So we're gonna keep working here until we get some really nice right turns.
Hattie, heel.
So that was a great right
Good
turn.
girl.
The dog is doing pretty well. You can also see Holly's not just hoping for the best, right? She's patting her legs, she's talking to the dog.
Good girl.
Holly's working really hard right here to get a great right turn. So I love that. Now go and make a left turn, Holly.
Hattie, heel. Good. Good
Left
job.
turn's usually going to be pretty easy if you've already gotten a good right turn. Now step 3, I'm going to invite the guest in. Now what you'll see is Holly's not just going to let the dog be bad. I'm not going to invite the guest in and let the dog run up and jump on them. I'm going to invite my guest in. Come on in, good sir.
How's it going?
Guest comes in. Dog is perfectly calm right now. So
What a cute dog.
Thank
you.
you.
We all said thank you. If the dog was pulling and jumping, Holly would immediately be doing the heel command. Here the dog is doing so well, we can honestly skip any healing. So all Holly will do is kind of walk up and free the dog up and let her say hi.
Hey.
Good job, Hattie.
Now we still have the leash and collar on, so if Hattie were to start jumping, we've got a couple options. We could give a little tug on the leash and tell her no, and if she was too excited, Holly could tell her heel and walk and calm her down again.
Hattie, have manners. Come on, heel.
So now, we've done all of this with the leash and collar on. This is the start of the process, but I know at the end of the day you want your dog to do this with no leash, no collar, right? So we start here until this is easy, and I don't care if this takes you a day or 2 weeks to achieve. Once you've gotten this, you can go to the next step, which is working with a short tab. So the short tab is really just a short leash. The one Holly has on the dog right now is a leather one. We also have wire ones. It's just another way to gain control of the dog when they're not dragging a full leash around. So when we get to this stage of the process, the dog can be free, they can be wandering around, you don't need the short tab in your hand. We'll have someone ring the door, and let's see how this goes. So the dog is at the door, normal dog behavior, she's intrigued.
Hattie, heel.
Holly's gonna tell her heel and
Good
walk her until
girl.
she's calm. Now remember, this could be 5 seconds or a minute, it doesn't really matter, that's dependent on your dog. If it goes this well, this quick, we're ready to move on, so that was great. Now I'm going to open the door. If the dog was jumping and barking, we might have to do something to calm it down, of course. The dog's doing pretty well, so we're going to move right to step 3. We're going to invite in our guest. Come in, good sir. And now, we have a couple things we could do here. Holly could, if she was worried about the dog jumping, she could heel for a few minutes to calm the dog down. Or if the dog seems like they're doing well, she could drop the short tab and say, okay.
Hattie, free. Free.
Hi, Hattie Mayonnaise. Hi.
And now we have that short tab on, so if the dog was jumping, we could reach down and grab it, tell her no, and stop her from the jumping, and then let her go again. But when she's being a perfect good girl like this, there's nothing to do.
Good girl.
So there you have it. That is our 3-step process for fixing your dog at the front door and making them absolutely perfect. We're using the leash, then we use the short leash, and then we go no leash, no collar. This was using the heel command as our calming technique. We have another thing we do called claiming space that works really well. Claiming space is about body language and energy. We have another video on that, check it out. You can actually do this no leash, no collar, just using your body language to claim the front door and teaching your dog manners. Definitely watch that video, hopefully you enjoy it. If you have questions, drop a comment below. We'd love to help you raise the perfect dog.